Well, hello there, and welcome to our podcast, Wrap Up and Unwind, with Zeé and Roderick, inspired by our life experiences, where we share our loves of movies, TV series, books, and video games, and also get real with our thoughts on all things concerning life and faith. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify. Hit the subscribe, follow, or sign up button so you don't miss an episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Wrap Up and Unwind with Zeé and Roderick.
Hey everyone.
We have a first guest, first and only guest for this episode and this series, basically. Peter is here with us.
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, guys.
We're basically gonna talk about our journey through Lent, which is the title for this episode. So, Peter, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Hello, guys. Hello, Zeé. Hello, Roderick. Seen a couple of your podcasts, and it's great to finally be live in the studio with Roderick, especially. You guys are doing great stuff. A lot of kudos to you.
Thank you.
Brief introduction. My name is Peter, and I'm Zeé is my sister-in-law from my older sister's side. Great personality, great person. I've always looked forward to actually be on one of her podcasts, so this is quite huge for me.
Yay.
So you guys are doing real fantastic work.
Thank
All right,
you.
then moving on to the topic of today, our journey through Lent. What does Lent mean to me? What does it mean to me? Okay, for me, first off, I just want to do a little background on what Lent is. So, if you're a Christian, then Lent should mean something to you. And for Christians, it usually means like a period of fast before the Easter.
Mm-hmm.
A period of fasting is about 40 days before the Easter period, and it gives you time to like reflect. It's a time of reflection. For me, it's a time of reflection, and I think that it stems from the Bible, where our Lord Jesus Christ, he fasted for 40 days. Now, he started his ministry at the age of 33, and at the age of 30. So he had his ministry for about 3.5 years. So he started at the age of 30. So before he launched out to start, teaching people about God and about the Word, he actually had like what they might call today a wilderness experience. And so he went, secluded himself, separated himself from the world, the activities of the world, and should I call it distractions or whatever. And then he secluded himself for a period of 40 days without food or water. And
Question.
Yes, go
Sorry,
on.
it's a question. Because we've talked about this in our previous episode. And
Right.
I actually thought, I know, yes, the fasting and everything, but I thought it was like before he went on the cross.
Yeah. It's before that. Yeah, before he started ministry. So before he started even actually teaching.
Okay.
Before he started actually teaching, before he launched out, he took that 40 days apart to actually
I see. Okay.
Yeah, he separated himself.
I wasn't far off.
yeah,
I wasn't
you're on track. You're on track. So so he took that time to actually fast and stay away from all the distractions of the world to prepare himself for the journey he had ahead of him. So for us, I think, I think the Lent period too should be a period where we take time to like reflect on our lives towards just before Easter. Now, there's one thing about reflection, then the other part about fasting. Actually, fasting for 40 days. I've never fasted for 40 days myself.
I was gonna say, do you actually the whole day?
I've never fasted for 40 days myself. I think the longest I've done is 21 days.
Ooh.
And
21.
And that wasn't even dry, mind you. It wasn't.
Oh no.
The way I did mine was I'll take water to make sure.
Water first.
Keep hydrated.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I take water towards the evening period, sometimes 4, sometimes 6, depending on how strong or how hard I feel.
Yeah.
And then I take some time to maybe read some Christian literature. Not it might not be the Bible, but some Christian literature, maybe devotional. Let me use that's the right word. Some devotional, and then do some reflection and pray. But it wasn't during the Lent period anyway. That's just something random. But during the Lent period, like during this time, I've been eating once. I usually eat once anyway, so I've been eating just once, consciously. And today, I think because of the show, I think I was more conscious today. So I think I just actually like broke the fast just before the show. So I just had some yogurt. So but it also gives you that consciousness of reflection, saying, okay, what am I not doing right? What should I do right? Or what can I improve on? Or maybe there might be some bad habits that I might be fighting with. So what fasting does, it kind of subjects, the usual pressure of the flesh that the body will put on you. And so because scientists tells us this, that any part of the senses that you shut down makes the other senses more heightened.
That's true.
For instance, someone that is blind, his hearing ability is heightened, because one part of the senses shut. So during the fasting period, you tend to like not talk so much. You don't talk so much because you're kind of conscious. You don't do certain things so much. So it gives your spirit man that ability to like be up there. It gives you get some heightened level of your spiritual and sensitivity. So man is broken into the body, the flesh, the body, the soul, and the spirit. So the body is what needs to be maintained. We're always craving for food. The spirit doesn't really crave for food. What the spirit craves for is something that is spiritual. And during the Lent period, you kind of pay more attention to the spirit. And so you do things that the spirit wants you to do. There's a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff to go on, but I'll just let you. I'll just take a pause. I'll just take a pause there.
Now you see why he's here, basically.
I love it.
Well, I think because I know usually during the Lent period, you tend to kind of give up something.
Right.
I don't know if that's something you've ever done.
So that's it also stems down to stuff, like I said, habits.
Yeah.
Now, there are two kinds of habits for me. There might be a bad habit. Then there might be a habit that is not bad. It's legitimate now. Okay. It's not something that is bad. For instance, now let's say eating. For instance, eating is good for the body, but overeating might not be very good for the body. So you can say maybe usually you maybe during your snack time or lunchtime you might have 3 cupcakes usually, and maybe a cup of coffee. I'm a coffee man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a coffee man. I'm a coffee person. So a cup of coffee.
Guilty.
So you can decide. You can decide. Okay, I want to fast till I want to make 2 p.m. my lunchtime now, and so I'm going to keep my Lent period from 6 a.m. when I wake up till 2 p.m. And when I'm breaking the fast, instead of having 3 cupcakes, I'm probably just going to have 1 and a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And then maybe later on in them, I'll have the proper meal, but something that is like. So when you do that for an extended period of time, your body gets used to that. Now, you've done 2 things for yourself. One, you've given up like 2 cakes, 2 cupcakes. And then health-wise, you've helped your body.
Your body.
Now, you're eating healthy. So you're burning out some fats or some extra sugar and all of that the body doesn't need. But another thing to be aware of is that and then there might also be some habits, some characters, or some things that you just say, you know what, I think I'm just going to stop doing this. I'm just going to stop doing this. I think I need to do better. All of that. So now, those things might not necessarily be evil or sin in quote, because the Bible says that not all things are good, but not all things are necessary. So it might not be a bad thing, but is it really necessary?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Is it,
Yeah.
do I really have to do this? Is it really necessary? It's like drinking in quote might not be a sin, but what the Bible tells us is that don't get drunk. Right. So and maybe you're somebody that take a glass or a mug of beer every evening. You can decide this period and say, you know what, I think I'm just gonna have beer just once a week, just Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
do you ever find yourself, after Lent is all done, do you ever find yourself continuing the discipline or not really?
Yeah. So the coaches or business coaches or life coach. I'm also a coach myself. So one of the things that we tell our clients or that we train people to do is do a particular thing, repeat a particular thing 7 times. So if you repeat a particular thing 7 times, it sticks.
Wow.
You can try it. Any routine you repeat 7 times is like getting up in the morning to do maybe 5 push-ups. You do that every morning, Monday to Sunday every morning. You see that once it's the next Monday, you are up and you're just doing it. It's like
it becomes a habit.
Yeah, it becomes like default. So it's like a default setting.
Yeah.
So you find yourself, you just wake up and you want to do that. You just want to go. So it comes out, and that's the way you actually form any habit. It's like the first time. Right now, I don't drink beer anymore. But the first time I tasted beer, it was bitter. It was bitter, and I'm like, what are people enjoying from this? This is horrible. And then the next time you taste it, you start acquiring the taste, and then the third time it's not that bad, and the fourth time, and then you go to that. But I quit. I don't even do that anymore. But it's like that. It's an acquired taste. It grows on you, so it grows on you gradually. So it becomes a habit. So anything you do like 7 times, it sticks. So what Lent helps you to do, and Lent is like a period of 40 days. So if you can discipline yourself on a particular thing for that long, I think it will stick. The level of discipline will stick. Yeah, it does.
Good. That's good.
That's pretty powerful, to be honest. Like, you could just literally rewire your brain in a year. Like over a year, you could actually learn quite a bit. About yourself and what to change.
Then another thing that people should be aware of during a Lent period is that during fasting itself is a science, right? And because of it's a science, one of the things the science teaches us that everything is subject to change. So and because it's your body now, your body is subject to change. Now you've been eating properly maybe since Christmas. You've been eating properly since Christmas, December, January, February, and March. All of a sudden, you're now telling the body that you can't get all the food you get, you can't get all the drinks, you can't get your juice, you can't get, and so usually the first 2-3 days is a struggle because your body wants it, and your body wants some juice, your body wants this in the morning, wants probably eating 3 times, 4, 5 times. It depends on how your level of eating is. So your body craves that. It wants it. It doesn't want you to give it a break. So that's where the discipline comes in. But because of this discipline or this sacrifice or this period, you're disciplining yourself to stay away from food or water for a period of time during the day, your body begins to have, some changes on the inside. Science teaches us that your digestive system actually begins to kind of rot.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the reason why the science of fasting teaches you to take water. There's people that are quite spiritual, and they believe that the more abstinence from food and drink, the more depth, or spirituality they gain. Yeah. So, that might be true, and that might be good for them, but that doesn't. For me, no, I wouldn't do that because
it's not one size fits all.
Because sometimes people get ulcer from that. After a period, and some people get intestine. Your intestine could get inflamed.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. So and then you could get dehydrated, and that could lead you to faint. And God help you if you're living alone. You're living by yourself. There might be nobody to call the ambulance or get you to the hospital. So those are some danger. And then if you're a working person, if you have to actually go out there to do work, you're expanding energy, and then energy needs to be replaced. But during this period, you're not replacing it maybe till late in the day, and then a lot is going out of you, and then you get weak. You really get weak, and you could easily fall sick. It could be really bad. We've heard stories of people actually, die from fasting. So during the Lent period, you should also apply wisdom. You should also apply wisdom in whatever you're doing. And generally, I've been Catholic. I've been Catholic for a period. I was Catholic for a period of years growing up. Yeah, I'm still Catholic, not just a Roman. I'm not just a Roman Catholic. And that's a discussion for another day. I'm still Catholic, but not a Roman Catholic. The word Catholic actually means like a union, being together. Each having a common belief. Christians that believe. So I believe in that one God, universal God. Yeah. So in that sense, I'm Catholic. Catholic, but I'm not just Roman. That's all. So anyway, because in the way I told, so is more prominent in the Catholic Church, the 40 days Lent period, and then the other Orthodox churches, Lutheran churches, evangelicals, Pentecostals, they're also coming on board as well. They also came on board at some particular time. Then some people choose to fast early in the year. Then the acknowledging that Easter is just around the corner, and you need to prepare your heart and your spirit and yourself towards that. Make people still, do the Lent period as much as you can. But usually they do not allow, or they advise that breastfeeding mothers, pregnant women shouldn't be a part of that because of their babies and their health. And then you should also check with health professionals if you have any health challenge that you might be zealous, you might want it, but if your health doesn't permit it, doesn't. You should stay away. We should take care of yourself.
Like people like that. Is it okay to abstain from other things rather than just food?
All right, that's good. Okay, now there is another kind of fast. That's a very good question. There is another kind of fast, which actually supports fasting. Okay. For instance, now let's assume I spend £5 for my lunch. So maybe I get a burger, or I get maybe a snack and a cup of coffee, and I spend £5. Now, what I can do is that guy on the street that's actually looking for a pound to buy a coffee, or someone that's actually looking for food and doesn't have food, the homeless guy, I can actually give him my lunch money.
I see.
So I'm skipping lunch to help some other guy get lunch. So I'm sacrificing my lunch for some other guy. It could be maybe one or two guys. You could get a cup of coffee. You could get something else. But so that's also a fast. Do you understand?
Oh, I see.
So beyond staying away from food and all of that, and not doing regular stuff that you would have, taking time to reflect. Is also so you're sacrificing beyond your food. You're sacrificing other things to help some other people, and God actually acknowledges that a lot, because the Bible says that he that gives to the poor lends to God. And God never owes, he will repay. So God actually repays with different kinds of blessings that you can't even keep up with,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So that's a good one. Yeah.
That's really good to know, actually, because some people do struggle during that period, and they just feel like they feel defeated, that they can't follow other people.
Yeah. But another thing is that the fast is for you. This is very important.
Yeah.
The fast is for me, it's for you, it's for us. It's not for God, because it doesn't change God. God is still loving. God is kind. God is merciful. He's still who he is. The fasting doesn't do anything to him. What the fasting actually does is this. It's like we're talking. For us to hear each other, we have to make sure that our surroundings is kind of quiet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if there's some sort of interference, or let's say a kid runs into your room or wherever you are at the moment and starts making a lot of noise, Zeke can still be talking, or you can be talking, I can be talking, but we're not going to hear each other properly like we are now because of that interference. But the child running in, or maybe it could be a pet dog or a cat, that distraction coming in doesn't stop us from talking to each other. We're still talking. It's just that the person that's got the noise at his end is not going to be able to hear the conversation properly because of that noise. Do you understand? Because of that interference.
Yeah.
So God is always talking to us. He's always extending his love and his mercy, his grace towards us. But the hustle, the bustle, the distractions, and a lot of things that's going on around us, it doesn't allow us to totally hear everything he's saying or be conscious of that. So what the Lent period does for us is, because we take down that distraction, like again, going back to shutting down one of your senses and heightening the others. So because we kind of take out the distractions, we hear better.
Yeah.
We see better. Yeah. We're more conscious. Now, all of a sudden, you notice that there's this guy that doesn't eat or hasn't got probably a change of clothes. For instance, I went to Asda. So I was doing some shopping. So usually once I'm doing the contactless shopping and I get to charity, where you have to do something with charity, I just skip it. But I think because I just skip it like that. But because of the Lent period and I'm being part of it, I'm conscious. I'm like, okay, 50p won't kill me. That won't be bad. And then I tap the 50p. So that's what. So it allows you to pay attention not just to yourself but others around you. You kind of feel the way God feels. You feel God more. You feel His Spirit more. You feel His presence more. Yeah. So yeah. Wow. So it does that. That effect has got.
I really like that. It's so good hearing another perspective, because you learn a lot and you pick up a lot and understand, okay, maybe this is why I'm doing, what I'm doing. Because we talked about fasting in our previous episodes, and I said for me, it's trying, because I did fasting a lot as a kid, different versions. I've done the 3-day dry at some point in my life. At some point in my life.
Dangerous for a kid. That's dangerous for a kid. Very dangerous.
And I look at myself now and I go, okay, I can't do obviously 3 days dry. I need to decide what fasting looks like for me, why I want to fast in the first place. And I actually even spoke to my best friend she's Muslim and she's going through Ramadan at the moment. So obviously I'm like, okay, how is your fasting? How are you? What works for you? Blah, 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 blah. And she said, how she breaks her fast and this and this. And then I had to decide, okay, this is how my fasting is going to go, because this is what works for me. And decide, okay, I'm doing water fast because I can't go, dry to a certain, to a certain time. So I think understanding why you're doing what you're doing, I think you get to make that decision for yourself.
Right.
And the whole reflecting on why. And I think for me, I've always said, back then, it's like, what are you giving up? And then you give all this, in a way, I feel like superficial, because there was a point where I said, I want to give up sugar. And obviously that failed miserably. So I was like, okay, that's not working. And this year I decided, rather than, I guess, giving up something, I wanted to get closer to God. I want to pray more, I want to do all those things more, and then decide why I want to fast and everything. And I just think learning more helps for you to kind of make that decision moving forward. And I like that you said, because obviously not everyone can fast. Right. So you have to, again, like I said, decide what works for you basically, and forward. Move forward with that. But I really like that. But I think, you didn't give up anything this year, did you, for Lent?
This year? Nah. Not really.
Yeah.
The other thing I know, I think I try to pay my attention to is the word. When I say the word, I mean like listening to the word, because the Bible says faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word. So there are a couple of preachers I follow on YouTube. So that I feel my spirit is attuned to certain things that.
Yeah.
So I during this period I listen more. That's the essence of fasting as well. So listen more. Now it's very important to point out that you must be praying during this period. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why, to an extent, the Roman Catholic faith is very important, because they've got like mass from, particular hours during the day. Yeah. So you could actually walk into the church. We used to do that. You can actually walk into your church and just pray as much as you can. There are no rules there. It's just it's you and God. So you just pray as much as you can. So if you're home, you can do that. Then sometime maybe during your break period. So if you got some sort of a lunch room or a tea room, you can go to your quiet corner and just pray quietly. But it's important to pray. It's important to take time to read the Bible, or read a devotional, or you listen. I do a lot of listening. So I could play my Bible and I'm working on my way to work. I'm going to the bus stop or on the ride or whatever. So I'm always having my earphones and I'm playing my audio Bible and I'm listening to that this way. So it's very important that those two factors, you're praying and you're feeding on the word. That's what your spirit feeds on. Otherwise, what you're doing is just hunger strike.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The weight loss.
So you still work even while you're fasting.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
What did you say? No. What did you say?
I was saying so you're still working even though you're fasting.
Yeah. You work.
You have to.
That's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, because some people don't work during fasting periods.
Yeah, so I will also go into that. So, but that now when you work in your fasting periods, that's one of the reasons why you can't do all that dry thing, or probably can't do all the Lents going from 6 to 6 at 6 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. in the evening. So it saps a lot of your energy and then a lot of water. And most of the human part is, even the human being is like 1/3 water or 3/4 water or thereabout. So you need water in your system. So you work. Now the Bible is divided into the Old Testament and the New Testament. Now in the Old Testament, some of the fastings that the kind of fasting that they had, where there were places in the Bible that the Bible actually says the animals should fast. Yeah. Oh, wow. So when the prophet went, I think that was Nineveh. Jonah was sent to Nineveh. Now, so when the instruction was like everybody's fasting, even the animals should fast, and all. So in the Jewish Judaism, let me just use the word Judaism, which is primarily what the Bible is built around, the culture of the Jewish culture. When they fast, in some cases they don't really work. They don't really work. So because working is like you're not fasting if you're working. So you're taking a break from everything. But they can do that, and I think there may still be some cultures that actually still practice that. But because they are self-sustaining, because most of them were farmers, so everybody grow what they eat. Yeah. But now we're in an industrialized economy. Farmers, there are few farmers. Everybody needs to go to the stores to get stuff to eat and all of that. But everybody probably grew what they ate. So they had chickens, they had cattle or goats and sheep and rams and all that. So they had their flocks. They had and then they had the products, vegetables, grains and all that. So they probably were farmers, and everybody had a farm or a small garden. So you probably grew what you ate. Only a few people didn't do that. So they could stay off work. Because, again, if you look at in Book of Deuteronomy, God is talking to Moses and he's telling him about how he wants the people to fast, or how he wants the people to do work. He said, you're going to work on your farms for 6 years. The 7th year, don't work.
Oh, wow.
Don't do anything, just serve me. So people are just going to be doing the offerings. Then they had all the offerings where they kill what they call bullocks, like cows, bulls, and then you just kill you do those sacrifices, you eat, give the priest what pertains to him, just be happy, but just focus on me and serve me. And what happens during the 7th year that they don't do any work on their farms, they should have a bounty in harvest more than the 6 years of work. So it's for them, it's like a supernatural visitation. So yeah, so those are some, some stuff, some kind of fact that they had. Yeah, that they had.
I love this discussion.
It's
so amazing.
Yeah, back in the day. So, in other words, God is telling them that it's not by your strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. So He's telling them it's not your strength. It's not your strength. This is not your strength. This is me. This is me in action for you. So it's my spirit. That's what the Bible says. It's not by power, not might, but by my spirit. So God is telling them it's my spirit that is at work. Because if you look at it, the intelligence you have, God created you and gave you that intelligence.
That's true.
The mind, the ability, the capacity, everything that you can do, He gave you a mind to develop whatever talent or skill set you might have. So everything about you and everything that you do actually comes from Him. So He's teaching you to trust, and those are things that the Lent period helps us to do, to trust God more, depend on God more. So when you're reflecting, you now say, okay, it's also a period of dealing with issues as well. So there might be things that you're struggling with, things you've been, so it could be a period where it helps you to set aside time to actually talk to God about, well, actually talk to God about those things.
I think that's why, like we said previously, is everybody chooses what works for you.
Yeah.
And that's how obviously we keep,
it's really important.
moving forward during this time. But I think, oh my God, this was, this was a beautiful, beautiful conversation like this. I feel like there's a lot of depth with it.
I feel like we need a part 2 for this.
We need a part 2. We definitely have to come back.
I'm available.
Yeah, Peter, you're coming back for this because this needs more of a discussion. And obviously, once this comes out, it's going to be Easter Sunday as well. So, happy Easter to everybody. And I hope you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And Peter, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So much for coming on.
Don't eat too much cupcakes.
Mine's a muffin. I love a good muffin. I love a good muffin. I would eat 3 in one sitting. So, which is why I said, you know what, guilty. So let us know, Roderick. You see yourself, basically.
Thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this episode, and leave a like and comment down below your thoughts on what Lent is for you and how you felt about the episode. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Okay.
I said episode like 3 times in that.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.